Hi, everybody. First off, let me start by saying Happy Easter. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. This video here is basically giving some of you a rundown of things that have gone on in my life. With the start of my YouTube, the end of my YouTube days, what has transpired since I was gone from YouTube, and now, I guess. Let me take my glasses off, because to be honest, I'm only human, and this might get a little emotional. Okay, back in 2008, I created a YouTube account, and one of the things that I really liked about YouTube was the horror genre and people that were collecting horror films, because I was a collector myself. I just never put myself out there to tell everybody that I had the same drive as them and the same hobby, whatever, however you want to say it. I'm at a loss for words right now. I'm kind of jumbling, so please bear with me. Anyway, 2008, I started a YouTube account, and I started watching videos of people that were collecting horror movies, and I thought it was really cool, so I continued to watch, and then for like 2 years, I would comment and, but I never really, became friends with a lot of people because I was just somebody behind a keyboard. Nobody knew who I was. And then, I want to say, in the middle of 2010, possibly towards the end of 2010, that is when I got a camera and I decided that I was going to do some videos and start sharing my collection and my thoughts on horror films and other films in general with everybody else. Once that began, I started making friendships with people. And I stayed on there for a few years, and I went on to do reviews on 3 different groups at one time. First, it was Cinematic Maniacs, which I created, and unfortunately I lost it when Google or whatever, YouTube made stupid changes. And then I ended up joining the Fright Tube for the second coming of the Fright Tube, and then things transpired amongst that group, which I don't want to discuss. I just don't want to discuss it. And then, of course, I had joined Body Bags and did reviews for Body Bags. Now, during my time on YouTube, there were several things that happened in my life that kind of led me on a downward spiral. Like I said, I became friends with a lot of people. Willie Mark One Scott was one of them, who became a good friend of mine. We went to Cinema Wasteland several times together, had a great time. I love the dude. He's badass. I'm glad that we're still friends this day. But during those times, back in 2013, my mother had passed away. This is my mom. Rest in peace, Mom. My mother had passed away, and she had type 2 diabetes that she was struggling with and fighting with, and she went through a lot of stuff. She even ended up in a diabetic coma at one point in her life. But in 2013, she died from a massive heart attack. which was caused from her congestional heart failure and a little bit of the diabetes. After that happened, that's when the downward spiral started to happen with me. I went through several stages. One of them was a sad stage, one of them was I want to be alone stage, and one of them was an anger stage. Now, the reason why I'm saying a lot of this stuff is because as far as YouTube was concerned, I tried to be as positive as I possibly could on there. But you know, everybody had their fair share of trolls, and sometimes I would let these trolls and other people that were saying bad things get to me. And it ended up making me an asshole and sometimes a troll myself. So at some point in time, I was being a dick, saying some bad things to some people that I shouldn't have, because that's not what I got into YouTube videos for. I didn't want it. But I, at the time, was in a bad place. Mentally, I was really in a bad place. So before I continue on, anybody and everybody and anybody, that I offended, said any type of bad things towards, pissed off, I truly am sorry. I really am. That was not me. That's not the person that I am, and that's not who I want to be. I'm 42 years old, going to be 43, and I don't know if it's a midlife crisis, but I'm kind of just like looking for closure with people, everybody. So if you do forgive me, I thank you very much. And if you don't forgive me, I truly understand. I'm not mad. And I can understand if you don't. All I can say is peace to you, and I hope everything goes great for you. That's all I can say on that matter. But anyway, after my mom passed away, I went through a bad downward spiral, and I went through this crazy anger stage where I was just angry at a lot of stuff. And I wasn't treating myself good. And then I want to say early 2014, I had a scare with my heart. I wasn't getting enough blood flowing to my heart, and I ended up in the hospital. I was in there for 3 days until they could figure out why I wasn't getting enough blood flow to my heart. A lot of you guys on YouTube that have been following me since then probably remember this time. Found out that my blood pressure was really bad. We're talking like 160 over 110. So I had to start taking blood pressure medicine. I had all the tests that was needed for my heart, and they couldn't find out anything. And then they realized that I had, at the time, cardiomyopathy, which was a lack of blood being pushed to your heart. So I was put on the medication, and after the medication started working, my blood pressure and my heart basically went back to normal. So I was happy with that, but I took advantage of that. And of course, I still was eating whatever the hell I wanted to eat, doing what I wanted to do. And then, like I said, I was kind of still being a fucking dick on YouTube, and I burnt bridges with quite a few people. And then I got to the point where I was just done. There was no point in me being on YouTube because there was probably too many people that didn't like me anyway, and I felt like at the time I was kind of irrelevant. During my time away from YouTube, my daughter had moved in with me for a while, and she ended up becoming pregnant, and she had a daughter. And yes, I'm a grandfather now. And I'm damn proud of it. This is my grandbaby. Her name is Maya. She's actually going to be 2 years old in 2 months. And that is my little Maya Chew. So I am a grandfather. After all of that transpired, my daughter moved out. And she's currently living with her boyfriend and the baby. And they're doing well. There has been, some issues with her and everything, but that comes with the territory. That comes with everybody. Everybody has certain issues. And then, there was something I wanted to address. There was at one point where I came really close to losing my life. I had bought a brand new car back in 2016, and one night I came home from going out to eat, and a young man came out from behind the bushes of the apartment that I live in with a gun, basically put the pistol right up into my eyeball and told me to give him the keys to my car. I obliged. But knowing the statistics as far as like carjackings go, I was thinking my chance of getting out of this alive wasn't looking good. I thought the minute I was going to hand over the keys, they were going to kill me. Luckily, that didn't happen. And I survived that night. And it was, I want to say September of 2016, I think. But I survived that night. And it gave me a little bit more appreciation for life, but not enough. And then, so I was still, it's hard to explain. I wasn't being a bad person anymore, but I wasn't treating my body well. Like I said, I was eating whatever the hell I wanted. I didn't give two shits. And then, there was a week that went by, early 2017, I believe. Yeah. There was a week that went by where I was feeling exhausted. I was feeling drained. I didn't know what was going on. I was afraid that I possibly could have had cancer. So I went and seen my doctor. And I had blood tests done. And about another week goes by and they contacted me. Luckily, I didn't have cancer. But what they did tell me was that my A1C was 5.7, which is the start of borderline diabetes. And they started giving me advice as to what I needed to do to avoid getting diabetes. And I followed their advice. Now, the way I look at it is, my mother was a diabetic. And to be honest, I know it's hereditary, but I think in my head and in my heart that she passed it on to me, but not in a bad way. She passed it on to me as a wake-up call to let me know early, before I ended up getting full-blown diabetes. To wake up, Daniel. Wake the fuck up, son. You're not ready. You need to wake up and do right with your life. So to me, it was a blessing. And I thank her for it. Because at the time, I was around 250 pounds. I followed everything the doctors told me to do. And I basically went on a no to very, very, very low carb intake. I basically eat vegetables and meat, and I only drink unsweetened tea that has 0 sodium in it, and water. My only one thing is that I still unfortunately smoke cigarettes. That is my next demon that I need to conquer. But it's all baby steps. Since I started my diet, a little over a year later, I've lost 100 pounds. And now I'm down to 150. But I'm physically fit. The job that I do at work is very strenuous and a lot of heavy lifting, so it actually kept me in shape, and I feel great. I feel like I'm in my 20s again. It's amazing. And of course, like, you've seen videos where, because of all the weight loss, some people thought I was sick, and no. I was diagnosed with borderline diabetes, and I wanted to avoid getting diabetes, so I did what I was supposed to do. Hopefully, I beat it. I don't know yet. I have another time where I need to see the doctor and have new blood tests done. But I do believe I have, because I steadily monitor my blood sugar on a daily basis, probably 2-3 times a day. And normally my blood sugar is in the 80s, which is considered normal. The only time it's elevated is after I eat, and it never reaches a point where it's bad. So I believe I'm on the right track. Like I said, I thank my mother for it. It really was a blessing. Oh God, don't get emotional, Danny. I'm doing this video to tell you guys what has gone on in my life. Now, everything is positive. Everything is great. I'm going through a time in my life now where I just want closure. I want everybody to be happy. I want to be friends with everybody. I want to be part of the community again. I want to make good videos, and I want to remain positive. And I will never, ever go back to that devil that I was. Ever. It'll never happen. I was disgusted with myself for doing that. So I sincerely would like to apologize to each and every one of you who I've hurt in the past. And I like I said, I hope you forgive me. And if you do, I thank you. And if you don't, that's fine. I truly understand. But I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on. And I'm happy to be back. I truly am. I'm going to continue to be positive. If any negativity comes my way, I'm just going to ignore it and move on and just, I'm getting too old for that shit. I don't want that shit. I want to be cool with everybody. So I think I said enough. I don't know. I don't know if there's more that needs to be explained, but I'm putting myself out there. I'm probably making myself a target for things, but I don't care. This is all positive. Yeah. Now you guys know some of the things that have transpired since I've been gone. But that's it. I really don't know what more to say. Anything further that goes on in my life, if you're friends with me on Facebook, you'll know about it because I'll post about it. Or somebody in my family will, or something, and so forth. But yeah, that's it. That's kind of like my confession video, sort of. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and I'm going to be making other videos soon. I will be doing some reviews, obscure reviews, and I'm still planning videos with my son. We just haven't figured out what we exactly want to do. But yeah, I love you guys. I love all of you. Thank you so much for the ones that have stuck with me. Thank you for all the ones that have supported me. and thank you just for all of you, everybody. I truly mean this from the bottom of my heart. Thank you guys. Deuces.